777. This is my son goddess 777. This is my son goddess 777. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Greetings to you. Who up with me? Who up with me? Who saw my live from earlier? Welcome to the channel. Support Mayad's Temple of Healing and Unconditional Love. Support Mayad's Temple, my son goddess 777. I am not going to be up here long. This is Mayad's Temple of Healing and Unconditional Love. My son goddess 777. I know these young folk didn't come to go to Houston for spring break. But I heard a lot of them did, and I seen the traffic and heard about the traffic and stuff. That's why it was so many people. It wasn't just the rodeo; it was the spring break merging along with the rodeo. Wow, makes sense. Okay, Houston for spring break. Oh man, wow. I know they had a good time. Not the people that came here, but the business owners. I know they had a good time. And wow, it was raining. And when it rains in Houston, Houston rain is not like regular rain. When it rains in Houston, if you're standing out in the Houston rain, it's like it rains. You know how when they say it rains cats and dogs? It literally rains cats and dogs. It's like the bottom falls out. I mean, if you're out in that rain, you know how sometimes when it rains, it'll be like sprinkling and you can kind of move around in it. But when it rains in Houston, oh my God, that's some rain. It's like the earth just said, the sky just said, hell, just, just the water, the bottom them fell out. So rain in Houston is not like just raining anywhere. It's a tropical like rain, like it raining in a tropical place. Cause where I'm from, it rains, but it don't rain like it rains in Houston. Houston rain, Texas rain, and Houston in that tropical area is something different. So I guess they were standing out. Some of the spring breakers were standing out in the rain in Houston. Greetings. Greetings, Henry. Yeah, this is a picture of Houston. This is a picture of Houston. I'm talking about they actually came to Houston or they went to Houston for spring break. And I can't believe it because I was in that location during the weekend and I was like, why is so much traffic? Which I knew it was the rodeo. Nah, I think that's Houston. Hell, nah, that's not Vegas. Supposed to be Houston. But anyway, okay, well, it might be we out the spring break. Who would come now? It's a party city. It's definitely a party city. So, greetings. Okay, well, I'm talking about Houston. Thank you. It's supposed to be Houston, and I'm talking about Houston, not Vegas. But is that a picture of Vegas? I thought it was a picture. Anyway, we talking about Houston. What you know about Houston? Why it's not? It's just as real as Vegas, isn't it? Okay, tell me why. I don't care. I don't give a damn about any of these cities. Actually, like I don't. Oh, I mean, I don't own them, so I mean, why? I don't have any defense for it. I don't. I mean, wasn't it built on a swamp or something like that? Weren't they all built off of ancestral indigenous lands? None of them are real, right? All of it's stolen land built on ancient burial ground, isn't it? But tell me, why isn't Houston particularly not a real place? Tell me why. I want to know. Okay, it's AI. I mean, I know that it was built on like it's a swamp or something. It used to be like a swamp. That's what the books say, but they lie in that too. So you never know. But I know it's all. I know it was all these lands were indigenous people lands that were stolen. But I don't. I know. I think it was a swamp. But what you know? You might know. You might know something I don't know. I'm not from there. I'm just talking about the spring break. I'm native. That's not where I'm. That's not my where I'm from. I'm not from Houston. I mean, it's I don't I like the cities or whatever, but I've been to several cities. Cities in other countries, cities in the US. So I mean, a city is a city. If you seen one, you seen them all, right? I mean, I know a little bit about what I've studied and researched about it. Um I you know, I know I mean it has a lot of diversity of people. It has a big population of what Spanish people. I know Arab people. It's a diversity of people here. I don't. I don't think. I think the. I don't think it's as many white people as it used to be. Because some of the when I went there, I know some of the people that I knew that was like white people. They said they were getting out of there. So I don't think it's as many, but it's some here. It's even some elite ones in Houston, but I think it's a diversity of people there. Um, I know when I was there, I saw a lot of people from the Middle East in Houston. I was like, I did not know that many people. They had it. I didn't know it was that many like Indian people, people from Pakistan, not Pakistan, I met some nice people from Oh, I met this really nice guy from Palestine. He was really not really tall and nice guy. I met people from India, everywhere, Mexico, Venezuela. It's just a diversity. Asian people, just Asian people. Really, I know the Asian people were really nice in Houston. Well, the other city that I visited, they weren't very nice. But I know the Asians very nice. It was very nice in Houston. I was surprised. Yeah, Asian people were nice. They're not nice in some places in North Carolina. Now they're nice in the Triangle, but not in them little towns in North Carolina. They act like they think they like they act like they think they white people in those areas. The rednecks. They want to be racist, but the ones in the Triangle are not like that. The Japanese people. I've worked with a lot of the Japanese and stuff at the hospitals, and they are not racist. Like I ain't met no racist Japanese, man, unless they pretending, but they don't act like they hate certain races of people. The Japanese people, yeah, they don't. Like I said, the ones here, the Chinese people here that I met, oh man, they are sweet, and the Chinese people in Houston are really sweet, and that I met in other places. But the only time I've had problems with the Chinese is in this little small town in North Carolina. Oh my God, they act like they are just like they drinking that. There's something wrong with that water though. It's something with that. It might be the water in that town because they're not the only ones that act. The regular the black people act weird in that town too. So it might be the water. The water is what it say. What you say? No, all the people that are there are actually cyborg Japanese robot. I'm talking about the Japanese people that's in America. In America are robots too. They say that about a lot of the Chinese people too. They say that about them. Yeah, they say that about them too. I don't know, but I know they nice in certain places. One, like I said, one small town I went to, is something wrong with that water. They were horrible, but they're not the only horrible people. It's all them people act strange in that area, so it might be the water. Yeah, but I have had some good experiences with snacks, sweet or salty snack. I've had some great experiences with people of all nations. Like I don't judge people. I judge people based off their spirit and and how they, you know what I'm saying, the energy and stuff like that, not off of how they look in the skin color and all that kind of crap. But most people do. They say they don't, but most people, and I'm not saying worldwide, but most people in America, they got some kind of type of stereotype or some type of, you know what I'm saying, like racism towards it, other people or stereotype. Even people that's of the same ethnicity have like colorism amongst each other. So it's just how how we were raised sometimes or indoctrinated and all that stuff. Yep. They okay. So you saying they are cyborg? They probably are. I don't think it's many. I don't think it's many humans in the world anyway. I think most people are probably like cyborgs or clones or something like that. Most people, I think so. Huh? They sure act like it. I think some of my family members are. I think they done been replaced. Shit, the way they act, I be like, I got to get away from you because you don't act like the same person that I grew up with. So you probably been replaced. And what's strange is that some of my family worked at this Japanese company for a long time. So my conspiracy theory is not too far off. I don't want to get too far into that, but they all it's a group of them that have worked at this company, this Japanese plant, and they don't act. They all act the same. They don't act like they used to act. It's like they been replaced or something. I'm telling you. I tell them too. I said I don't think you're the same person. Like you act like a clone or something. They act really weird. So yeah, they had spring break in Houston and it was a disaster because it's a lot. I ain't saying that everybody in Houston is like that, but these businesses, some of these businesses, when they get an opportunity and stuff, they'll try to scam these people. So they were scamming those spring breakers. Oh my God. I can imagine how much money they made off of them. They thought they was gonna come and eat and have a good time. And let me tell you, they were ready for them because if they didn't know it, they know now. They learned the lesson playing with Houston. Because Houston is a party city. Houston is a player city. And it's a lot of STDs. I heard it's a lot now in every city. And it's not the worst city with STDs, but I heard it's a high level of STDs in Houston. And, from what I seen on the video, there was a lot of freaky deek going on in the cars where they didn't even have tints on their windows and they was getting it on. And I'm like, do y'all realize where y'all at? Like, are you serious? Which they young, once they get them drugs and alcohol in their system, it's on then. They ain't thinking about nothing. They ain't thinking about nothing. They thinking about, what the flesh want, the desires, food, sex, drugs, and fulfilling those desires. That's what they're thinking about. Yeah. And that's Vegas. I haven't I gotta go to Vegas. I probably go to there soon. Yeah, I gotta get to Vegas. But so spring break was a disaster. It was a blessing for them people that got them businesses that were charging all that. I remember I went to a bar. I went to a bar in Houston one time, and honey, I would never go back. I would never go back. So I had took one of my family members, and it was a pure disaster. I was like, it won't happen again. Nope. Mm-mm. I got overcharged for like 2 drinks, and I'm not a cheap person either. I don't mind tipping or none of that. But I just didn't like the way, you know what I'm saying? It was like like they were running game. I was like, okay, all right, I see. But yeah, once you scope things out and you learn, see, that was a lesson for them to learn that. Yeah, and in Houston, they will take your woman. They don't care if you with somebody. They will walk up on that person and approach. If they see some these men, those men in Houston, if they see a woman that they like, honey, they gonna take your woman. You better not be a emotional person they will take your woman. They'll try to buy. I have been in Houston with my family members, and it wasn't even somebody that was like a relationship. It was just a man that was my family member. But they didn't know if that was my man or not. They asked me like buying me stuff at the store, and I'm like, and like, can I meet up with you? And just, I mean, they don't even know me, and they were buying me stuff, and I'm like, that could be my man. It was weird. Like it's just, I'm like, that's spooky. It's like, what do you want? You can have what, and they, that's only game. That's only game. They see a new face, and yeah, it's only game. But from my observation, it seems like this seems like the men are really kind of controlling somewhat. I'm not being on no feminist stuff. I'm just saying it seems like they kind of patriarchal, and it seems like they try to run those women in that city. Uh yeah, I do some charity work in different cities, and I seen like it be a lot of stuff going on with like abuse and domestic violence and stuff. And it's not just like the poverty stricken people. It be people that's like business owners and stuff like that too. They be going through it like weird stuff. I'm like, mm-mm. And that's not everybody I know. I know that's not everybody, but it just seemed like I done heard some stories. So yeah, it's some players in Houston. So they come there for spring break. I know they came there with their girl, and them guys see something they like. It was up. That's what that fight might have been about too. That's what that fighting might have been about. I don't know how the women are like that. I don't know. I know some of the women, they seem to be not so friendly. Like, and I wouldn't think they would be like that, being that it's a city, and it seemed like the men might be kind of rough on them and stuff. So I wouldn't think the women would be friend. I understand, cause I can be like a girl's girl. So um, at first and I used to be kind of sensitive, so I could be sometimes a little crybaby, like a little, bitch, and be like, "Oh, the women are not friendly like I want them to be," but I don't know what the hell these women been through. I don't know what they've been through in these different places, so I can't expect them to be, open like that to, because most women don't like other women anyway. They don't like other women. They ain't still, I guess they still in that competition mindset about they don't trust women. And I noticed that a lot of women have trauma. The Gen Zs and the millennials, they are very suspicious of women, and because of what they probably went through with their mothers and their women that raised them and stuff. So they're traumatized from that. So when you try to be like, I had bought this woman some roses on Valentine's in this area, and I don't know. I'm not gay. I would do stuff like that for women just because I'm a girls and I want to make a woman feel good, and it's nothing to it. But I guess from what they've been through with women, they take it as like, what does she want from me? Is there ulterior motive? And there's none. Like, you don't even have to call me or be my friend. I'm just doing a nice deed. I mean, like, it's nothing to it. So I'm learning that like people don't mean to be that way. It's just that they haven't healed or gotten over their traumas, and they're paranoid from the stuff they've been through with people. Cause we think it's all men that's like bad all the time, but it's some rough women. It's some really mean women out here. They can be like really cruel too, and it can traumatize like people where they don't trust other people, other women and stuff. So I get it. But yeah, the spring break went sour, and we tried to tell them. People tried to tell them not to go to Houston for spring break. I thought you go to the beach. Like I thought you like, get your beer and get your drinks together and go to the beach and grill out and party all night on the beach. And if you get a room, you bundle up in the room, but you stay on the beach most of spring break. That's what I thought it was about. I mean, I wouldn't dare try to go to no Houston on a spring break and stay for a week to be scammed and ripped off. Now I could see the weekend because it's a party town, but the hookah gonna be like $60, which I guess that's not expensive if you want to spend it. But then you gotta pay to park, and then if you get some food, You only gonna get a little depending on where you go. You gotta know exactly what you're getting because you might get two lamb chops and some put little bit of this and that for like 50 or 40 or $50. And it might not fill you. Oh, I learned my lesson. Now you can go to some places. The food is good. And you can go to some places and they'll give you a nice amount, but you just got to know where you're going because you might get a plate and you might be really hungry and you might want to go back and eat and you might not be able to because you're getting a little bit trays and you paying all this money. So you got to be, you got to live and you learn. So, you got to be careful. Um, so like I was seeing that club what is the club Sekia? They were going in there and they couldn't get in. They were buying set. What is this about now when they party? They don't dance. They just stand around and look at each other. And then when they get a little, I guess, coke fit, they fight each other or whatever. It's no that like we would dance. We would dance and party and have. I mean, we would be food. I mean, sex. We would dance and party and have a good time. Now it's about the sections and I guess they got to pay like 200 for a section or $500 for a section or $1,000. And the highest bidder they said would get the tables. And when the people got to the club, they couldn't even when they got to the club, they couldn't even get their tables because the bottle girls sold it to the highest bidder, but they didn't know this. So it was just a mess. So yeah, I wouldn't dare advise anybody to maybe a weekend of partying, but not a whole week of spring break. That was not the move to come to a place like Houston because it's like Galveston is where the closest beach is Galveston. That's like about an hour, maybe 45 minutes away. And then they got the Conroe Lake, but the Galveston Beach is like maybe close to an hour, about 45 minutes away, 45-minute drive. And I've driven there from actually that location. I've been all over. Shit. I have been all over Texas, but in that area, even Austin. I've been to Austin. It's a long line in Austin because the TSA workers are not getting paid because of the government partial shutdown. So people are having a hard time with their flights. Like it's hard. They're going through it. This long line circling around in Austin. And the TSA workers are disgruntled because they hadn't got a paycheck in since what? Sometime in February from the truth. And they gotta mandatorily work without a check. So yeah, the empire is crashing. I think it's already done crashed. I think they just don't know how to go sit the fuck down and leave people alone. I don't think they know how to lose. They don't know how to lose, and if they do lose, they'll write it in history that they won. They're the winners of everything, and they saved everybody. Oh man, so mm. Yeah, but I know I saw when I was there in Houston area, I saw a lot of people from the Middle East. Yep, and they're trying to make the people afraid of the Iran, but shit. I'm not afraid of them. I'm thinking that if something would happen, it would be this government, like they did 9/11. So I don't know, but anyway, yeah, that was a bad move to come to a place to go to a place like Houston for a spring break and get scammed. I'm pretty sure, and I've seen where pictures where they were getting their windows busted out. I guess they had people praying on them too, and I'm sure they were driving rental cars. You know how hard it is to go through insurance with a rental car trying to get a rental car fixed, even if it's not your fault. I've been there and done that. That's a horror story where something happened to the rental car. I got into an accident. It wasn't my fault, but still, it was a hell show trying to go through that with the insurance company, being that I was driving a rental car, even though somebody hit it and I wasn't at fault. So that was a mess. I mean, it looked like they were just busting people glasses out downtown Houston. They were just preying on those poor spring breakers. I mean, they were getting scammed from one hand to the next. They said one of the ladies said she spent $500 in a few hours. I'm like, what in the hell? But I guess going into clubs and eating and drinking. Uh, yeah, I know I know one drink for them was probably like about $40, 30 or $40. One drink probably, no less than 20. One drink. I know when when I went downtown Houston to a bar, I bought one drink. It was a liquid marijuana. I think that drink, it wasn't 20. It was like, so I only asked for one. That bartender gonna give me two. I don't know why they gave me two. They're gonna give me two drinks, and I think two of them was like about 35, $36, and then they're gonna try to bully me for a tip. After you done fixed me two drinks, I only wanted one. Then you gonna tell me something about a tip. I was like, I will not. You better enjoy yourself, cause no, 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 no. So I've had a little taste of that, cause after that I'm like, hell no, I'll party at home. Shit, they're not gonna rip me off. And it's certain places that I'll eat to when I go to certain locations. When I go to, it's certain places that I know the quality. Like, you have to be careful. You got to know, like, it can be a good star rating on something. But listen, everybody don't know good food. Everybody don't have the same taste palette. So you have to know for yourself. Just because it got a rating, like I've seen places that have like a 4-star rating, and the food is not good. It's not a high quality of food. I'm like, who are these people that's eating this food? Because like, this is not a high quality or good quality of food. This is not the authentic food. Like, what is this? So I don't judge food by people telling me or looking at ratings. I got to do a sample or something for myself, because I'm my taste buds are not the same. I'm a chef, so I know how to cook the stuff that they serving me and selling me. So I'm like, I gotta see for myself, because all these high ratings, the food don't be about crap. The quality don't be good. It don't taste like what it's supposed to be on the menu and all this. It don't look like it. No, no, I'm not just gonna eat something and say, "Oh, it's good," because somebody else put some sugar and some daggone barbecue sauce and all that on something and made it sweet. No, it's got to have certain textures and all that. I know when they using a cheap quality. Like I had bought a hot dog recently, and I know the difference between. And I'm cutting back on meats too. I'm cutting back on meats, but I had got a hot dog, and I can tell the difference between the beef and the one that's mixed up with all the other mess. So I had bought this hot dog, and the lady had went up on it 50 cents. It used to be 3.50, but now it's actually $4. I was like, "Oh, so you used to be cheaper than this?" But she's like, "Yeah, I went up 50 cents." Don't you know the hot dog that she sold me was so freaking nasty? And I don't think her attitude, like, I be like picking up on people could have a bad day or something like that, but I just looked at how she took the card from my family member, and he noticed that too. He like, I'm not eating there again, cause it's like the way she took the card, she was smiling and acting. It was, you could tell it was like kind of phony or whatever. You can tell when people like sincerely cool and they fuck with you, and you can tell when it's just like. But her body didn't language didn't lie. She kind of snatched the card, and I didn't see that. He was like, you know how she. I was like, when she did it, I'd have been like, oh, that's it. I don't, cause I'm not gonna eat. Like, that's why I don't understand. Like, back in the civil rights days, how could they go in these restaurants and make these people feed them? And it said they didn't want them there. I would have never did that. Listen. I'm not eating nowhere where nobody don't want me there. I'm not gonna live nowhere where somebody don't want me around them in their neighborhood, honey. I'm going where I'm appreciated, not tolerated. I'm not gonna make nobody invite me into their restaurant. I can cook my own food. I can go in my own restaurant. Like, If I can't go to a freaking restaurant, I can cook in my house. That's how I am. I will not eat no food from somebody that I don't really feel no good energy from. Like that hot dog was nasty. To make a long story short, that was a nasty hot dog. I think she was using beef, and now she done went to using that pork and chicken and crap. And it's you can taste the cheapness in it. So that's it for me. No, I don't. If I eat a hot dog, I eat a certain quality, and I don't eat nothing but beef. I mean, yeah, I will eat pork. I do eat pork too. But I'm saying I don't eat the mixed hot dogs. I don't eat no pork hot dogs. I don't eat no hot dogs that's mixed with all that. I eat at least, especially if I eat beef at home hot dogs. So I damn sure, and it's already bad for you because it's processed. It's already processed anyway. So why in the hell would I buy something processed and it's mixed up with pork, beef, and chicken and all that, and you selling it for nah? I could see $4 for a pure beef hot dog. I'm not even gonna say what brand it got to be. Yeah, I'm not even worrying about if it's the Hebrews beef or the Nathan's or the Oscar Mayer's. I'm not even saying it's got to be one of them or the Sam's Club 100% beef, none of that, or the Costco's or none of that. Like it, I'm not saying it's got to be one of those, but at least or the one that don't have the nitrates in it that you can get from all the stores and even Whole Foods and all Sprout Farms, Lidl, and all the ones that don't have the nitrates in them, the ones that are nitrate free. But it don't have to be a specific. But at least if you're selling them for that price, at least sell a beef frank. I can take like I cook. I can tell if it's beef. I can tell what's in the meat. I'm not a person that you could just, oh, I'm gonna sell you some steak. I know a cheap pieces of steak versus a nice quality or whatever. I know if that rice is old or you done rewarmed it or if it's fresh fish. I can tell when it's fresh because I've been eating fresh seafood all my life. I know when you got some fresh stuff versus some shit that's been frozen a long time. Like I'm a chef and I'm a past life tourist, so I'm about that food. So anyway, I know they was just scamming them poor spring breakers. They learned them a value. One thing they learned is to never go to Houston for a spring break. And I really hope that if they were doing some hunching up, getting a groove on and getting the cookies and the grapefruits, I hope they were protecting themselves because whether they know it or not, Houston is not the worst place, but it's on the top. It's not top of the charts, but it's up there with the STDs. If they out in Houston getting that groove on, having unprotected sex, man, I done seen stories where people talking about they didn't just get one thing, they got a combo, not just one. Like back in the day when my my dad and my stepdad and them was getting their groove on back in the day, 76 with 60s and stuff, they could go to the doctor and get rid of stuff. They would just my stepdad tell stories about how they used to get it going all day in the hippie days and the sixties, and they just be screwing all day long. That's what they did. They had six, 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 six. The hippie times and all that. And they go to the doctor and get rid of it. Now, and back in the day, you would get maybe one thing. Now, these people be having a house in Virginia, the damn the syphos less, and they be having help and the herp and all that. The combination just from going out one night, having an unprotected experience. You know what I'm saying? And they young, like these be really young. These be babies, like not even barely legal. Like 20, 18, they crying, talking about, oh, I was a virgin and this person gave me all these STD. This is rough now. And they can't even make a mistake and slip up, and have a one night stand or you know what I'm saying? They can't even afford to just enjoy and live. No wonder I guess that's why they stand around the club like zombies and don't dance and just buy sections and act like uh what is it, TikTok robots following trends. Trends. That's all they do is follow trends. Trends. This trends. A trend. If somebody trending that to come to Houston for spring break is trending to buy bottles and take. Oh shit. That mess started in 2013 too. That's when everything got lame. That's when everything got lame when they started using all these weird ass drugs and making these songs about people being addicted to Molly and Percocets and all. Everything got weird then. I think it was a damn propaganda agenda. Just like everything got weird, when they started with the introduction that MK Ultra music with the gangster rap and all that. Then it went into this weird Molly Percocet and all this. Mm, it's just crazy. Everybody's like zombies now. People go out now, they don't dance, they're just standing around looking at their phone. You could have did that at home. Nobody's dancing. That's why I stopped going out a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? And then the bars and stuff, not even safe. It's not even safe to be in a crowd. And they were fighting. I heard in Houston they had some kind of stampede at the rodeo. So it's just it was them damn spring breakers probably dissatisfied with being scammed. They were frustrated. Spending all that money being scammed. Scam and traffic. They spring break was spent in traffic jams and being scammed. God damn. All that rhyme. And traffic jams and being scammed. God damn. I like that. That's a jingle right there. Ooh, that's a jingle. In traffic jams and being scammed. God damn. What a jingle. Um, so yes. Do not go to Houston for spring break. If you're gonna do spring break, young people, and you don't know how to do it, this is an example. Get with your friends, pile up like they used to do back in the day. Go to the beach, get you a little cheap grill, go to a section of the ocean where you can grill out and just enjoy the beach and have your drinks and stuff, in a safe location. Don't be drinking and driving. Right, have it right there. And you don't have to pay all of that money for the drinks at the bar and paying for a section, trying to impress people that don't give a damn about you. Why? Why do y'all do that? Yeah, so I would, even though they say the water don't look all that good in this murky, I'd have rather went to the Galveston beach and grilled out and turned than doing all of that. But that's me. That's me. Uh-huh. They done spent all their little savings and max out their credit cards. But I just wanted to talk about um what is it? The spring break in Houston and what a disaster it was and how they got scammed. It's a city. It's some good people, but it's a lot of scammers in Houston and some players too. So, it's just a diversity and a mixture. But this has been my Sun Goddess 777. Y'all have a good wee. This the wee hours. Have a good day. Meditate, heal, go within, ground, and the way out is going within and getting to know yourself and healing and loving yourself and letting go, being light as a feather. This has been my Sun Goddess 777.